of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase one of the banana zone, banana number one. The corrective zone, banana number two comes. Another correction, banana number three. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over. And everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep it.
Good evening, Warriors. Hello, and welcome back to your favorite crypto news related channel. And guys, we've got plenty of exciting content that we are going to get kicked off with for today's episode. But I want to give a massive thank you and shout out to Xavier once again with the let's go. Typically, it's the celebration emojis. We got the let's go in the chat. So shout out to you. Massive thank you, Xavier. And tonight, we're going to be talking a lot of XRP. We've got some HBAR content. We've got some XLM content we're going to take you guys through. But the exciting part of this journey, Johnny, is the fact that we are trading above $3.50 right now for multiple daily closures. And I said it when we initially broke up from 285. We were going to see daily closures above $3 and eventually daily closures above $3.85. And right now, we are only about a 12% move from being up to price targets we have never seen before. And I'm not talking about 384. I'm talking about 484, 589. You name it, guys. It's on the horizon. And 589 with the decimal after the 5, of course, Johnny Krypto. We already got 3,200 people here, guys. If you're excited, you enjoy this content, show us some love, smash that like button. Now, Richard says, boys, is this a clickbait title or what? We're down to 350 on XRP. Now, depends how you look at it, right? Because here's the reality. The $4 breakout began several weeks ago. It's really about being patient here. I mean, we're trading at $3.51, and fairly soon, Johnny Krypto, we are going to be trading at all-time highs. Now, here's what's exciting. When these projects break all-time highs, that's when maximum volatility, maximum speculation, and maximum price action starts happening for all of our favorite projects. And we've seen it with dozens of them. Chainlink, AVAX, Quant, Stellar. We've got HBAR. There's a bunch of these projects that are already outperforming here in 2025. I want to give a shout out to the Shadow 1776. Like always, my friend, LFG, best show and community ever. Much love and respect. Now, Johnny Krypto, I've said it before. I'll say it again. We're going to produce as much content as we can for this community, especially during exciting times when XRP is trading $3.50 and people are talking pullback. I think we are going to see a daily closure above $5 by the end of August. But live chat, I would love to know, ones, if you think we see a $5 XRP before now and the end of August. Twos in chat if you think it does not happen. Now, Kenter said Quant supply shock will hit, and it will hit hard. Now, I agree. I've held Quant Network since 2020, Johnny Krypto, and this is one of those projects we've told people to keep an eye on. And I'm very excited for the Quant investors when we look at where the price chart is today. Shout out to Jonathan. Jonathan with the 589. Putting that positive energy out into the universe, Johnny. Here we go, Abs. You got your 589 XRP. Now, shout out to you. I will use this to purchase 1 unit of XRP in 2025. But, Johnny, ones in chat once again, if you think we see $5 before the end of August, twos if you think we stay below that number. My conviction is clear. We got the Genius Act. We have the Clarity Act debated at the House over the next 2 weeks. We are going to have crypto ETFs approved by October 18th for the XRP community. And from that point forward, the spigots of liquidity have been turned on. And we're going to talk about onboarding clients through the RLUSD token as well, which Brad Garlinghouse said is happening right now at Hidden Road. So it's not even speculation anymore. This is real world utility hitting the markets today, Johnny. How are you feeling? And thank you for being here.
Well, Abs, first of all, it is night. Good evening, crypto. Ow! To all the crypto maniacs out there. I am excited, Abs. You're all right. The clickbait title is the clickbait title. I think you just didn't understand that what we're really talking about here is XRP breakout happening, not like now at this moment in time, but now meaning like this month, right? It is happening. Look at that thing. We busted out of the pennant, bull flag pennant, and now we're going for that next leg up. It is happening now, meaning this breakout is happening. We are any time away. We're gonna get a $4 XRP, and dude, that's when it goes crazy, man. Because nobody's seen a $4. Nobody has seen a $4 XRP. It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened in history. But man, whenever you play that Raul Paul video, I get excited because I kind of think back. It brings me back to like. He talked about all the banana zones and showing the massive pumps, right? And it brings me back to 1990. I got to keep going there. Go to 96, 97 Abs. I'm telling you, man, we are gearing up for what I believe is going to be a massive speculative bull run that's coming that we haven't seen since the late 90s when we were gearing up for the internet boom. And all the things are happening exactly the way they happened back then. You had in 96, towards the end of 96, you had the law pass where they removed regulations so that so telecom technology could be innovated. And dude, that triggered what I call iFOMO. And you can go look it up. Institutions also FOMO, Abs. They're just like humans, right? They're humans. They FOMO'd into that space because they knew how much new technology and innovation was going to come out of it. And then you had the births of Google and Yahoo and Red Hat and Amazon and all the big companies that came out of that, right? Well, guess what? You all should be super excited. And thank you, by the way, for all those donations, because you're sitting in 1996 all over again with a massive flood of speculative money coming in very soon from institutions once we get what I believe is similar to that Regulation Act, the infrastructure bill. When the infrastructure bill comes in, Abs, that is going to unlock, like you like to say, the spigot of liquidity. The spigots are going to be open so much, it'll be full blast. And yes, it is 11 p.m. KG. That's why we call this show Good Evening Crypto. We do it in the evening times. We love you. KG is a massive donator, so thank you for that. And I know, Abs, I'm a little confused. Everyone's like, wow, it's so late. It's like, yeah, it's Good Evening Crypto. That's late time. You see the moon is out tonight because it is evening time, but we are all pumped up because we know we are sitting in the front of a massive money tsunami that we ain't seen since the early days of 97, 96, 97. I can't tell you how excited I am, how we're getting ready to go there. And somebody says so here, this is important, right? Taking profit is so highly elevated. Dude, Cyan Demon, I'm going to screw your name up, but you are so right about it is an emotional thing, Abs. And we've talked about this so many times, right? People are going to change their targets. They're going to do different things. Don't go to bed yet. It's not that early. It's not that late. It's almost good night. Midnight crypto. That's a great one. But anyway, Abs, you just have to sit here and realize we are on the cusp of the floodgates opening up like we ain't never seen before. Well, since 97 and 98. And that's just going to drive, I think, a ton of. Back then, we called them internet millionaires. Well, all of us here and everybody in our chat, you guys are all going to be what we call crypto millionaires. And it is whether you're a crypto thousandaire or a crypto millionaire, it is going to be super exciting. Your lives are about to change. And I just can't wait for it to happen, Abs.
Here's the truth of the matter, Johnny. There's $1 trillion question on the table. And that question is when these ETFs get approved. The deadline for Grayscale's XRP spot ETF is October 18th, 2025. But I think we all have this idea that when these ETFs are approved, it's going to be very important because of what Zach Rector has been saying, as well as Mikkel and a couple of other content creators about the market multiplier effect. $1 billion in, Johnny, it's not $1 billion increase in market cap. That could be $150 billion increase in market cap. And I think we've already seen this play out in the XRP price chart before. When we watch the market cap for XRP go from about $30-40 billion north of $150 billion in the month of November, that wasn't 100 billion new US dollars that came into the project XRP. That was probably like 750 million to 1 billion new dollars that came onto the ledger. Now, why does that matter to us? Because when these ETFs are approved, JP Morgan, BlackRock, they are predicting that we are going to see anywhere from $4 to $8 billion worth of new inflows from these ETFs in 2026. Think about the market multiplier effect I just outlined. Let's hypothetically say it's 100x. Every $1 billion that comes into this market, the XRP market cap increases how much, Johnny? 100x. That would be 100 billion. If we saw $8 billion come into this market, that would be an $800 billion increase to the XRP price chart. And now, why does that occur? Because the order books are thin. Not every XRP token is for sale. Actually, there's not a lot of XRP tokens for sale, believe it or not. That number is getting smaller by the day. And I did see we just got a live donation. Joseph Shea, 20 bomb on this Monday night, Johnny Krypto. Yacht party with Johnny and Abs just around the corner. Now, guys, I said this to Black Squirrel, a.k.a. Thomas in chat. I told him, I'm like, 2026, we got to do a meet and greet for the GEC community. We're going to make that happen. You have my word. So shout out to Joseph. You will be invited to the GEC meet and greet. I promise you that, my friend. Massive thank you for the donation. My point, Johnny, when these spigots of liquidity are turned on, what do you think $800 billion would do to the market cap of XRP? That doesn't include the stablecoin. That doesn't include the EVM sidechain with the smart contracts. Doesn't include tokenized assets like we're seeing in Dubai. There's so many different things happening on top of the ledger. We could easily see this project go from $3.50 north of $10, $12, $15, $18, $25. And if you have a vision like Jay Claver clearly outlines, a global collapse where the solution is provided by a blockchain product like XRP, then you can really go crazy with these targets. I mean, Swift does 5 trillion every single day. If we got 14%, like Brad said, that's $700 billion in daily volume. I can't emphasize how important that would be for the people in our chat. You guys would be so wealthy. Forget 5, 8, 10, 20, 50, $100 XRP. If we saw $700 billion transferring on the ledger, we're talking about like a $200 XRP at a minimum, Johnny. And a lot of these projections, which I saw the Digital Asset Investor put out a really interesting one the other day, and hopefully I can find it for our listeners to see as well. But it doesn't matter. Story was Bitcoin's projected to be $1 million asset by the year 2030. A lot of these projections say 1.5 million. We'll go with the low ball of 1 million. If XRP just continues the price percentage gains that we've seen thus far, it would be $193 at that time. So you'd have Bitcoin, which is, and you highlighted this, is a 10x over the next 5 years. And if a product like XRP continues doing what it has done thus far, we are looking at another 50, 60x for the XRP price chart. So when people ask me the question, am I too late at 350? You want to talk $193 XRP? I don't think anybody is too late to the party yet, guys. We got 8,700 live listeners here. If you guys are enjoying this content, show us some love. Smash that like button. I want to give a massive thank you to anybody who donated to the program tonight. And we're going to continue talking about the possibility of a BlackRock XRP ETF. Here it is.
So you would welcome an XRP ETF then?
We would certainly welcome it, and I think it's inevitable that there'll be, multiple ETFs around different tokens. I think you'll even see ETFs potentially around baskets that also, I think, further diversify that risk.
Are you in talks with the largest issuers, particularly BlackRock, to get this done?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. I know BlackRock has said some things publicly. We think it makes sense for the XRP community overall. Ripple obviously is a very important stakeholder in the XRP ecosystem, but we're not the only player. And look, we've seen, before the SEC lawsuit, XRP was the second most valuable digital asset. I think because of the headwinds of that lawsuit, we've now seen that largely abate. But the long-term view on these things is about, how do you create utility and really solve real-world problems with these different digital assets?
So, Johnny, what's interesting about what we've seen thus far, BlackRock's ETF for Bitcoin alone, it's over $80 billion right now. And when you look at the price chart for Bitcoin, I think a lot of the momentum that we're seeing in the market today is due to the buying pressure that we're seeing from these ETFs, and the data backs it up. Matt Hogan came on our show and told us, Bitwise representative, he actually is responsible for launching the first ever spot XRP ETF with the SEC. So he filed the paperwork first. This guy came on our show and said every single day there's 1,300 Bitcoin units being purchased off exchanges. there's only 495 produced every day. That's nearly 3 times the demand from ETF issuers alone. Doesn't include retail investors like Johnny Krypto and myself going in and buying $100 worth of Bitcoin or whatever a retail investor does. So I think what we're seeing right now is a simple reaction from supply and demand. And what Brad is highlighting in this clip is that it makes sense for the community overall, right? It makes sense for the ETF issuers. It makes sense for the retail investors. It makes sense for the people who want that security and that, issuance that we're kind of seeing, that institutional grade security that we've always highlighted. I think that's what Brad's really getting at here. And just remember, guys, the Zach Rector market multiplier is so important once these ETFs are approved, because we're going to see it play out in real time. If we're tracking $1 billion worth of new inflows from these ETFs from October until December, Johnny, and we're watching the price chart increase in a way that we haven't seen before, we're going to be able to tell you minute by minute, hour by hour, how these inflows are impacting the XRP price chart, very similar to what people are doing today with Bitcoin. And I think that's how they get these extremely high price projections, because guess what happens 3 years from now? That 495 is reduced. And you know what's reduced to? About 248.
Yeah.
So it's going to go from 495 to about 248 tokens a day. And if that ETF issuer and that buyer demand is still there, well, here's where it gets really exciting. XRP is pre-mined. There's no mining process for the XRP community. It's just straight up supply versus demand. And I think that's going to work on our favor when it comes to the order books, Johnny, and the value of some of our favorite projects. What are some of your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, what you're talking about here is a supply shock, and that's what's starting to build up. When you are buying more supply than there actually is supply, you're creating a serious situation, which I think you're going to see play out. We're seeing it, watching it happen right now in Bitcoin. We are seeing that this is how, I don't know what this guy's talking about here, but
Johnny was yawning on stream.
I was just being patient. I was letting you talk. I was listening. But apparently it was misinterpreted, my listening skills. But anyway, point being is, you're talking about a supply shock, and that's what's driving Bitcoin up to where it is today. And it's, it's fair value market was somewhere in this area. And then, of course, the next thing that will happen is, David Portnoy. He can't believe he stole it either. Well, he just followed his friend, and he followed his friend to get in, he followed his friend to get out. And that's the problem when you don't know, when you don't do your own research and you just listen to other people, right? Had he even listened to our show or anybody's show, he might have learned a little bit more about the value of what XRP had, and he wouldn't have sold all. But anyway, getting back to it, I think that what you're going to see happening now is ETFs. We've been saying on the show for a while, ETFs are going to come out. Basket of ETFs are going to come out, and that's going to give all the suits the opportunity to do what they do best. They're going to pick up the phone, and they're going to call the boomers, and they're going to drag them into this space. And that's going to bring in a lot of liquidity apps, in addition to the institutional liquidity that's coming into this space. You're just going to have the perfect storm. You're going to have institutional FOMO. You're going to have ETF FOMO. And yes, we didn't talk about that enough. We broke 12,000 subscribers for abs. That is awesome news. That means one of you guys, one of you lucky winners, is going to get to be carrying around, or wearing, I should say, that David Schwartz signed hat, which I know abs has. There it is. That hat right there is going to get raffled off at some point in one of our lives coming very soon. So we'll keep you posted. Yes, I still have a house phone. I don't know why. Dude, you know what's funny? I don't think I haven't gotten a call from anybody I know on that phone other than spammers in years. So I got to be scrapping that thing. But anyway, point being is, the boomers are going to be getting calls. The suits are going to do the work. And next thing you know, money's going to come in. But remember, that's like the last phase. Before that, you're going to have iFOMO coming in, institutional FOMO. You're going to have liquidity injections from potentially the Fed, because you can see now there's a lot of pressure on the Fed abs. That has another whole place spin the wheel tonight. We got to put the link out there so people can sign up. So we can't spin tonight. But the point being is, there is going to be tons of liquidity coming in, and then when you multiply it times the X factor, or the multiplier factor, we're talking about absolutely massive amount of potential market caps that are going to be driving the price up extremely high. I mean, we're going to be talking prices that someday, like you said, Abs, We could be sitting here talking about $100 XRP or $200, and people are going to say, damn, why didn't I buy it at $250? Why didn't I buy it at $330? Well, I get it. It's hard to predict these things, but guys, you have to understand there's a new market developing. This is the back end. We are fixing the plumbing of the past, 80 years of financial systems where right now I can send you an email, Abs, instantly by pressing a button. But yet I can't send you money. Email is data. Cryptocurrency is data. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time.
I agree with you guys. And we are going to be giving away the the David Schwartz hat later on in this channel. What we're going to do, we're going to put a user poll out. Everybody can submit their names, their usernames. We'll spin it live on air and we will give away this hat. Now, what's so great about this hat, obviously the pen went for $100, but Johnny, what we do when we raffle off these items, we call you live on air. So you must be in the live chat when we do the raffle in order to win the signed Merlin hat. And of course, this is signed by the one and only Ripple CTO, David Schwartz, and we're giving it away absolutely free. So if you'd like a chance to win, we're going to be doing that sometime later this week. We have an undetermined date. Maybe it'll be Saturday. Maybe it'll be Thursday. We will figure it out. Now, does anyone realize how much content these guys are making each day? Yes, I do realize. For one, I do realize, and I do want to give a huge thank you to every single person who shows up and is excited to kind of celebrate these moments with us because, Johnny, we were doing this content at 40 cents. We were doing this content at 20 cents. We're now doing it at $3.50. It's so easy to be motivated, to be excited, to be optimistic. It's a great time to be in the crypto market. It really is. Go ahead, Johnny.
And we're going to be doing it at $4, and we're going to be doing it at $14 and $24 and $54. What I hope everybody has, though, Abs, I hope everybody has a profit plan. I really do. I hope as we start going into these phases and we go into the banana zones, as you saw Raul Paul show, right, there'll be 30 to 35 mud wrestling for the hat. That's great. There'll be 30 to 35% pullbacks. Those are fantastic opportunities to be able to, thank you, Romo. Actually, we're killing it because you guys are killing it and we're winning because we're all winning. That's what's great about this thing. But there's going to be pullbacks, Abs, right? There are going to be massive opportunities here where people are going to be seeing 35% pullbacks. Those are, guys, opportunities to be selling and doubling your bags. Absolutely. It's totally a great time to be alive. I see we got a bunch of those coming in, so I'm going to kick it back to you so you can shout them out, and then I'll finish my statement.
Guys, I'm excited to give away the David Schwartz hat. And we're going to allow people to donate. If you'd like to have your name submitted more than once, you can make a donation and you will get, I forget what exactly we decided. So we'll talk about that after the stream. But I want to give a huge thank you to Xavier ID 499. What a time to be alive. And Johnny, you highlighted this in our video today. I was like, listen, if we don't play this crypto thing right, we may have to wait 20 years to get this opportunity again. You go, Abs, 20 years, you'd be lucky. So take advantage of this, guys. This is an exciting time of our lives for every single person. It doesn't matter if you're 20, 30, 50, 70, 100 years old. Even there's probably some 15-year-olds in chat, right? This is such an exciting time. And whether you're young, whether you're old, we have a great opportunity here to make a huge dent in the universe and put our families in a great situation over these next couple of years. Charles, massive thank you to Charles, big Steelers fan. So shout out to you, Charles. David Schwartz signed that auto pen hat. Now, here's what I can validate. I watched David Schwartz sign it. I don't know if anyone saw the auto pen happen, my friend, right? It's like Houdini. Was he there? He's there. He's behind the cloak. It's like Harry Potter, guys. We do have 12,200 live listeners. If you're enjoying this content, you love this content, show us some love, smash that like button. We're here celebrating with you all after this phenomenal week and this amazing price action all throughout the past 3 days, Johnny. It's been unbelievable. You go to sleep, XRP's 280. You wake up, it's $3. You go to sleep, it's $3. You wake up, it's $3.25. We are at a $3.50 XRP, a moment that we've been waiting for the better half of a decade. Been waiting over 5 years for this. The XRP community has actually been waiting 8 years. People like Mario. Mario was a young man, young, spry adult. He's good in the knees, strong in the legs, right? Now, crippled old man like Johnny Krypto, guys. Of course, I'm just kidding.
This is the guy that's crippled, man. Crippled himself.
We're keeping it lighthearted. And Mario, it's all love and respect. Our boy Mario, he knows I love him. We're going to be spending time together at the lake house next week. Let's listen to Dave Portnoy tell us he sold his bags, but it's never his fault.
So anyways, XRP. I had, I think, close to $3 million of XRP. And it was hovering. XRP was going from like 210 to 240, back to 210, back to 240. Fine. I wasn't going to sell it. I was going to diamond hands it. But the guy who originally was like, get involved in XRP, and the guy, the reason I looked at it, sends me a text out of the blue. And I don't talk to this guy a lot. He knows who he is. He knows who he is. And he's like, hey, not good news that Circle is going to do what XRP is doing. I don't even really know what he's talking about. I'm like, so you're saying sell XRP? He's like, I certainly don't like it that much anymore, or as much as I did. So in XRP, it's going 240 to 210, 240 to 210. When it went back up to around 240, I'm like, all right, I don't, this guy doesn't like it anymore. I'm just going to get out. No sooner did I sell it, the thing went parabolic. It's like 350. I blinked. Made me sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Fake news.
And then the guy is like, well, I didn't sell it. Well, then why did you? He's like, I hold things for 5 years. Well, why did you text me out of the blue being like, I don't like it? Just, I just put it, I put it away. I wasn't even thinking about it. I mean, I'm still doing good in obviously Bitcoin and ETH, but that hurt.
Johnny Krypto, here's the reality too. Bitcoin is up 15%. Ethereum is up, I think 30%. Pretty great. XRP is up 66% the last time I checked the data since Dave Portnoy executed on this trade. And the reality is, complaining about XRP trading from 210 to 240, that is the exact opposite of the narrative that we had been sharing here on Good Morning and Good Evening Crypto. We're like, guys, we are consolidating. This is the best thing you could see in a long-term time frame. We are building a structure and we're going to go for that next leg up. Well, we built an 8-month bull flag, and the second that we broke out, daily closure above 260, weekly closure above 285, it was off to the races. And in the next week, we went from 285 to 349. And now we're even above that, trading at 349.5 today. I'm pretty sure we're going to close out this week well above the price targets we are experiencing right now. But I want to ask people, guys, one's in chat, if you believe we get $4 XRP this week. Two's in chat if you think it takes a little bit longer. Johnny, what are your thoughts on Dave Portnoy saying, listen, it traded from 210 to 240. I was out. And then calling himself the leader of the XRP army.
Well, that's the funny part. Is like Dave has no. Somebody said it here too. Where is it? It's a perfect comment. I was trying to put it and scroll up, but yeah, here it is. Like Dave has no clue. He's got no idea of crypto. Okay, he's basically getting in because he's got buddies, he's got friends who are telling him, "Hey, you should get into this. You should get into that. You should look into it." And like I know because I'm doing that to my buddies. I'm telling them what they should get into, right? And they're buying stuff because I'm telling them to buy it because they trust me. So Dave went, and obviously his buddy told him to get into it, and he bought into it. And then his buddy said, this is not good, but he didn't sell it. That's the best part of it. His buddy wasn't telling me he wasn't selling it. He was probably just trying to be like, hey, I know I told you to get into this thing. It's not good that this happened, because you know what that's called, Abs? That's called like CYA when you screw your buddies, right? You don't want to screw your friends. You tell them to get in something happened. You're a little worried. So he tried to warn his friend. And what does he do? He went and sold the whole thing. Yeah, I agree. The dude needs to stick to pizza. Definitely stick to eating pizza, Dave. Shout out to you, Robbie, for $1.99. Yeah, Dave should stick to pizza. But this is what happens, Abs, when you're uneducated and you're in a space that you don't know what's going on. And you know what's funny? Like, Dave's mad at himself that he sold. The reality is, if a guy like that has got millions, right? He should be buying back into XRP because he's mad at himself now when it's at 350. Wait till when it's $100. Then he's going to be like, what the hell? He can literally still buy back in and still catch the upside potential that's coming. But yet he's acting like it's too late, like you can't buy back in again. Like, yeah, hey, Dave, you can. And it's still pretty early. But yeah, you might have missed a little bump up, but you haven't missed the tsunami, my friend. So I don't know if he watches us. But, the reality is he's still not out of it. But in his mind, I think he's kind of checked out. He probably figured I missed the boat on that. And that's a bad mentality to have, guys. If you miss something, doesn't mean you can't DCA in along the way, especially if you believe the upside potential is coming in apps. We've been talking about like crazy. Until that infrastructure bill comes and I see all the money coming in, it's still an early time. It's an early time to get in, and it's a great time to start thinking about creating a profit plan, to know when you get in, how are you going to get out? Where are you going to get out? And you're not going to get all out. You're not going to do what Dave did. You're not going to do what I did in 1997. You're going to scale out. You're going to ladder out over time. That's what we try to teach everybody at Merlin Apps, is to scale out on the way up, because there is a lot of upside potential coming.
And Johnny, we're going to start breaking down the inflows and what that means for the XRP price chart. We got 14,000 people here. If you guys are enjoying this content, show us some love, smash that like button. I want to give a massive thank you to anybody who donated to this show. But Johnny, the reality is that you should be making your own financial decisions. Do not rely on your friends. Do not rely on your family to make financial decisions. That is the easiest way to get burned. And the reality is that nobody deserves to make you rich, right? Nobody's obligated to make you wealthy. Go out there, do it for yourself. Find the things that you can understand and double down on those topics like we're doing in the crypto space today. So that's just all I got to say about that. This is Zach Rector and Jake Claver talking about the XRP market multiplier. Here it is.
It was shown at 50 cents. There wasn't much TA to do on XRP, right? You're not really playing around with much. Now that it's been moving, one of the things that I've been closely watching has been the order books and the inflows. And something that we've talked about is this market cap multiplier is the term that I use. And basically what we've observed is the market cap multiplier on XRP is anywhere from 50 to 200x on the way up. And I've seen it interacted even more dramatic on the way down, where the multiplier has been 500 or 900x. And what that means is that if $1 billion is coming into XRP through the order books, that the market cap is going to grow by 50 billion. So it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. And there's been this whole misunderstanding really of how this works, because people are locked into that traditional mindset of market cap to value stocks versus trying to value this technology and this network, and understanding that these assets are actually much more illiquid than the stock market is. And so they move much more dramatically. But to this point, folks think it's crazy to talk about these high numbers. Like even talking about $30 XRP, people say I should be shut down. Well, let's look at the math. I did the numbers, and if JP Morgan's prediction, and don't come at me, bring it up with JP Morgan, they predict 4 to 8 billion of inflows into XRP ETFs year one. Now I ran with the 200x multiplier on that. It brings us to a market cap growth of 1.7 trillion. That's trillion with a T. And if XRP is at a market cap of a couple hundred billion at the time, you're running up towards a 2 trillion market cap. It's a $30 XRP with the 58 billion circulating supply that we just hit. So it's going to take way less inflows to get us to these astronomical far off market caps than what people have traditionally been thinking. When I started to go through this exercise and follow these numbers, I got way more bullish because I realized, wow, it's going to be way easier to get to these high price targets than I'd previously thought. And so people will call us crazy for talking about $30 XRP, $100 XRP, $1,000 XRP, because they're doing the market cap calculation. And they're saying, well, Zach, that's 50 trillion market cap. That's bigger than all the stocks combined. And you say, well, yes, this is solving a problem that's quite frankly bigger than all the stocks combined, potentially. And to your point, if we just get slivers, little pieces of this action on Swift derivatives, and we could easily see XRP go to these prices. You combine that with the inflows on the ETFs, etc. It's going to be a lot easier to go to these higher prices than people are thinking.
There you have it, Johnny Krypto. And I think he outlines a great example of how easily we can get to some of these like much dramatically higher price targets. Floor is yours. What's your analysis here?
He's not wrong. At the end of the day, that's how the markets work. It all comes down to the order books and how many buys and sells you have on there. And the thing that I like about it is, and it's so true right now, because it's kind of a new market, and because you don't, only 5% of the world are in it, the liquidity isn't there compared to the stock market, which means because at the end of the day, there's less buys and sells, you will see that the price can move much faster as you're eating up the order book, the order book, the sales, the buys and the sells on them. And so to me, you will see that if we, and it's not surprising at all that you're going to, on the downside, of course, you get to see on the downside. But what's exciting is that there's going to be so much money coming in, and that money, a little bit of that money can drive it up extremely high. Now, what will happen is eventually, as more and more people come in, there'll be more orders in the solid book in the order books, and we'll see probably movements more similar to the stock market, I think, down the road. But the funny thing is, I love questions like this. Why are we dropping? Like my friend Dwayne, listen, my friend. If you don't understand that the markets don't do this, okay? There's only one stock chart that does this. Okay, you might have heard of it. It was run by Bernie Madoff, and it just did this. And guess what happened, my friend? It crashed and burned, and he went to jail, and everything went down because markets don't work like that. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. In fact, Abs, let me say this. If you are ever in an investment and all you see it doing is ever going up, get the hell out of Dodge. Sell that son of a bitch and get out of there, because it ain't normal. It doesn't work that way. Things go up, things go down. So when you see a down day or why are we going down, don't be upset. Be happy. Down days are good. Down days shake out weak hands. They look at that chart right there. See all them red? You can't get to the big green candle on the right if you don't get rid of all the red hands first. Every time you see a red, you should be like, this is great. We just got rid of a bunch of weak hands. We just got rid of some paper hands. Get them some bitches out of there. Because once you no longer have, remember, this is a very simple game, folks. It's buyers and sellers. You need it on every side. Well, if all the sellers are gone, what do you think's going to happen? Oh, actually, gold chart goes. No, it doesn't. If you look at it, it's going up and down. I mean, it doesn't do that, right? I mean, every chart.
Actually,
yes,
gold peaked at like 1,800 in value back in like 2008, and then it did this huge U. It went down to like 900,
Correct.
then it came all the way back up. So
Correct.
gold has actually not been the best investment over the last 30 years or so.
Correct. Exactly. I mean, it's a great thing for, hedging. It's a great way for preserving your capital. But anyway,
What do you need, right? You need your gold, you need your silver, and you need your
lead, baby. Got to protect it. There's 3 precious metals: gold and silver, and the lead to protect it. I give away all the free lead. Anybody comes from my gold and silver, you're getting lots of free lead. Anyway, point being is, you want to make sure that you understand how the markets work. Be happy when you see a red day. Be happy when you see a pullback, because you will never get a higher, larger green candle until you get all the weak hands out. And look what happened. The way you should think about this, Abs, is this. Like, think of like, you ever had one of those little things where you shift the sand? I don't know. When I was a kid, we put sand and rocks in, and you shift it, right? And you're shifting out. All of a sudden, the only thing you're left with the big rocks. You shift everything out. It's the same thing here. You're shaking out the weak hands. And look how long we had to shake them out. It took us about November to July. We needed about 8 to 9 months to shake them all out, and boom, they're gone. And now look at what we're getting, right? So be happy when you get down days. It just means you're getting rid of weak hands. And when what does this say? When Johnny went to school, it was before the days where we would have classified him spit. Oh, wow, that's so funny. Well, that's so. We don't use specialty. Back then, I can't even say the R word because everybody gets mad at me when I say it. But anyway, point being is, I don't get upset, Abs, about down days. I love down days. I love red chart. I love red because I'm buying on red days, and I know what red means. It means we're just getting rid of more and more weak hands so we can get more green candles. With that said, Abs, I'm going to kick it back to you because it looks like our man RB just provided another donation.
Shout out to Robbie, as I like to call him. It could be RB. I'm not sure. Robbie, massive thank you for the $20 donation. He's here every single night, so a huge thank you to you, my friend. Riding these waves, I got my surfboard. No emotions, just enjoying the ride. And it's that kind of mindset that lets people ride through this volatility. Johnny, it's really is funny because, like, guys, we are at the highest prices we've ever been at for XRP. And we got our boy Dwayne here with the all caps. I feel like Doge is going to explode soon. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Get focused, get determined, create a plan for yourself. Do not FOMO from one project into the other. Don't try to predict if Dogecoin is going to move before XRP. That's not what this market is about. Right. This market is about the evolution of finance. We are going to see real companies, big banks, ETF issuers all of the different sectors of the modern day economy, they're going to be buying the same assets that our listeners have been talking about for several years. So enjoy that journey. Shout out to Robbie. And again, guys, stay focused during this turbulent time. There's going to be a lot of distractions, and I'm almost feeling like there's a psyop in the chat, Johnny Krypto. I'm just going to put it out there, guys. Shout out to the psyop. But Johnny, it's a funny way of saying, like, if you're not focused, if you're chasing short-term gains, you're going to get crushed. It's not even an opinion of ours. I hope you make money. But the evidence says if you're here to jump from Doge to XRP or XRP to Solana because Solana's going to move before and then I'm going to jump back, that's how you get crushed. Buy the project, sit in the project for multiple years, and eventually you'll make it out of the on the other side of a bull market, just like we're experiencing now, where you bought 50 cent XRP. Now you're holding it at 350, and people in the chat are saying we're going through a pullback at 350. So just goes to show there's going to be a day where we wake up, we're doing a $10 XRP stream, Johnny, and people are saying, guys, why are we crashing $10? 1,000%. I'm not even joking. It's 100,000,000% going to happen. Massive thank you, Rusty Shackelford with the $5. Big shout out to you, my friend. Johnny, the bull needs to see red before it gets ready to run. That's a great one. Shout out to Rusty. That is a winning comment right there. Big shout out to you, Rusty, and thank you for the $5 donation. Crypto good $2. He said, I got lost with the market cap myth. What's the final answer? Crypto good. Follow that up, Johnny. We'll wait for a follow up there, guys, because I'm not sure what you mean by final answer. Are you asking what we think the final market cap will be? Because if you are, I think we're getting to be the first $1 trillion altcoin, right? Live chat, I'd love to hear what you have to say, though. One's in chat if you believe XRP passes Ethereum. Two's in chat if you think Ethereum remains the top altcoin for this crypto bull market. My speculation is this, Johnny. The tokenization of real-world assets, stablecoins, all these different things. I think that the XRP ledger is going to dominate so many different markets over these coming months that there's going to be liquidity moving from Ethereum onto the XRP ledger. But there's going to be essentially no liquidity moving from the XRP ledger onto the Ethereum blockchain. And a good example of this is the EVM sidechain. The EVM sidechain is going to allow smart contracts to be natively run on the XRP ledger using XRP as the gas token. Correct. So that's going to steal so much smart contract activity away from Ethereum over a long enough period of time. It's like a migration, right? You got to think about it like you don't load a plane all at once. Nobody gets on the plane and jumps right into their seat. It's group A, then it's group B, then it's group C, then it's group D. First class gets to go first. Oh, Brad Garlinghouse straight through the door, right? Bank of America, very nice to see you. But then you got to get the little guys in there. Johnny Krypto, right? Regular retail investor abs. We're in the back of the plane, guys. We're looking. What row are you, Johnny Krypto? 32, and I'm a middle seat. So that's just I hope that's a good analogy, guys. It is
great analogy.
But Johnny Krypto, we got 17,000 people here. If you guys are having fun, enjoying this content, show us some love. Smash that like button. This said ad kicked me. Not sure what that means. I would never kick you. Let's just say it like that, Johnny. But what are some of your thoughts?
Yeah, no, we don't kick people out. We certainly don't. That's not how we operate here. We love our chat. You guys are the best chat in the world. In fact, we love engaging with you guys, and we try to do that as much as humanly possible. But, at the end of the day, Abs, when you look at how these markets are shaping up, you kind of talked about something very interesting there. And I try to bring it back to what I've learned in my career. Companies are looking for, and you might have heard me say this over and over again, cheaper, better solutions. Well, think about what you just described. When you're moving coin from the ETH chain to the XRP chain, why are you doing that? Because like you said, it's a lower gas fee. Oh, what do you mean? Cheaper. Yeah, cheaper, better solution. So who's going to win that battle? Is the XRP ledger going to win it? Or is it the Ethereum ledger? I mean, the lower cost is always going to win in the end, because that's what everybody's all about. I don't know. I
got to address this, guys. So thank you to everybody in the chat. What I did is I shut off the ads. Somebody is saying, well, not somebody, everybody is saying the ads are kicking people out of the lives. And Hallsball said, Abs, the live keeps kicking everyone. I've got booted 9 or 10 times already. It seems like when the live is trying to bring up an ad, it boots me. I just shut the ads off. Hopefully that does not happen anymore. And I apologize. Didn't realize that was occurring during the stream. Someone said YouTube is tired of us winning. Well, they better get used to it, because this whole thing's just getting started here, guys. And we're hoping that YouTube allows this community to grow and flourish the way that it has. We already reached 12,000 subscribers in just 110 days. And I believe, I'm going to put it out there, we're one of the fastest growing communities in all of crypto. And we're going to keep growing because of our successful calls, because of our accurate information, and most importantly, because of the realistic optimism that we provide on this channel. We don't hit you with these fearful narratives. This isn't CNN. We're going to provide a dose of optimism. We're going to give you some laughs, but on top of it, we're going to help everybody profit from this crypto market together. And the evidence is working in our favor. I mean, since November of last year, we've been nothing but correct when it comes to the XRP price chart. And my next bold proclamation, we are going to see a $4 XRP very soon. And it is anyone's best guess what happens when the XRP price chart breaks into new all-time highs. So, floor is yours.
You're going to see panic. You're going to see excitement. You're going to see emotions like you ain't seen before, because we're going to be in an entirely new space app that nobody knows. Like right now, we're still under, right? Yes, guys said, yeah, no, right now we're under the 384 all-time high. So right now it's like, oh, okay, we're still kind of teetering there. We haven't hit price discovery yet from a perspective of the all-time high in Asia. We're getting very close. And when we bust it, it is going to be exciting times for everybody, because everybody kind of expects like, oh, okay, 384 is the next stop. Okay. But when we pass through that, abs, what's the next stop? Exactly. Bearded Viking call it. It's going to go ballistic. We don't know where it is. We don't know. The order books. So we don't know what kind of volume is going to come in, how it's going to drive up through it. All I know is it's going to be a very exciting time. It's also going to be a very emotional time. And guys, that's when you need to make sure you need to create an exit plan now, or a profit plan. You need to do that now. And abs, you even said it yourself. Like human nature wants you to, Ted, when you get to your number, that you want to change your plan. Well, imagine if you don't even have a plan. How are you going to manage that? What are you going to do? And not you personally, but I'm asking the chat, what are you going to do when you wake up one day and you see a $4.57, XRP, or a $5.77 XRP? What are you going to do? Do you have a plan? Have you figured this out? Are you monitoring your accounts? Are you looking to see what everything's happening there, right? Because if you're not, well, you're putting yourself kind of in a position like David Portnoy, where you don't know really what you're doing, where you're going, and you're just waiting for your friend to tell you what to do. That isn't the way. And Patrick Swayze over here, my friend, you know what? I saw you said you haven't chatted a lot. Thank you for chatting for us. You haven't bought Merlin yet, but you need to. You're absolutely right. You should. You can sign up for a free 30-day trial. Go to the website. Let me see if I can just share that. It's very, very easy, guys. You can come there and sign up. Get yourself. We put this thing together for you guys, and you can go out there and abs if you can share that. Basically, you can just go to the website, sign up for the free 30 days, and you'll be able to see all your coins in one place, create yourself an exit plan, take the emotion out of the game. You can be safe. It's all about safety when you're traveling. You don't have to bring your ledgers with you. As you talk about abs, right? You can see everything right here without having to do that. And best case, if you have trouble setting up, we got a customer service team live you can talk to on the phone. So we've done everything we can to help put you guys in the best position to be ready. Because abs, I feel like we're right around the corner. We're so close to breaking into price discovery, uncharted territories, my friend. I don't want to be going into that. Yes, you can connect your ledger to it. No, we don't take your keys. We don't take your coins. That's why everything's safe. We get hacked. Worst case, somebody can see what you're doing. That's it. Doesn't get any worse. That's it. I'm keeping my bi-weekly buy on full effect. Attaboy, Kyle. That's it. I'm DCAing in too, apps. I DCA in all the time. I got my DCA set up every week. I don't even look at it no more. This just buys. It just buys. That's it. And it's the 3 coins that we talked about yesterday. If you haven't seen our show, actually, no, today. If you haven't seen our GDC show today, check it out. We talk about 3 coins you're going to want to make sure you have in your bags.
Shout out to you guys. We do have the best community in all of crypto, and we got 18,200 people here. If you enjoy this type of content, head on over to the Good Evening Crypto. It's my brand new channel. You're going to get a daily update. As you can tell, sometimes we're going to give you multiple updates every single day on this channel. We released a short form video earlier today. We got the live stream going tonight. And believe me, if XRP starts moving on the weekend, if it starts moving in the middle of the night, this is where you're going to get the live action from myself and Johnny Krypto. So head on over, check out Good Evening Crypto on YouTube. And as you guys know, We're going to continue to give back to the community. Now, Johnny, people wanted a members only section. Guys, let me know. I wanted to get feedback from our community, and we're going to sitting here tonight live with you guys. One's in chat if you'd like the members only section to be opened up for Good Evening Crypto. Two's in chat if you're thinking not yet. I had some people recommend it to me, and if the demand is there, I will absolutely prioritize that over the next week or so, and we will get a member section going on the brand new Good Evening Crypto channel. Now, Ryan says, I got 7,344 XRP. Guys, well, first of all, Johnny's shaking his head because, guys, you should not tell people how much XRP you own. But, Johnny, the reality is you got 7,000 XRP. Congratulations, my friend. That could be a $70,000 portfolio in just a couple of months here, and that's what we've been trying to highlight here on GMC. Now, I am seeing a lot of ones in chat, guys, so shout out to you. I can prioritize this. Let me know. Just throw a 1 in chat, and I will make note of that during today's stream. I also want to reference, we did get another donation from Robbie. Subscribe now and share. That's not what I said. That's not what Johnny said. That's what Robbie said, guys. So share this information with your friends. A lot of people enjoy this show. People tell me they'll send it to their friends and family, Johnny, and it's easy to understand. It does take a couple of weeks to get the verbiage down for some of the crypto narratives that we talk about, but we try to keep it fairly simple and normal, easily digestible. You don't have to be a genius to understand this market. There's a macro shift taking place, and we were speculators for several years. Now we got the United States government backing us up. We got BlackRock backing us up. We've got the SEC dropping the lawsuit. We've got 19 different companies filing for XRP ETFs. There's so much momentum behind the XRP price chart in particular. I couldn't be more excited or optimistic. Now, so this person, we got to address this comment. Abs, I still don't get the Johnny 833 story. So, guys, I'll give you the verb because I can't find the video. It'll take me too long, Johnny. He said, hey, are we live? K Capone, we are live, my friend. And shout out to you. Change the profile picture. We know you guys. We're watching. We're always watching. I'll tell you that much. But Johnny Krypto.
Let me see, Abs, if I can find it. I think it comes up right away when on my page. Hold on.
Okay.
I might be able to find it. So keep talking. I'll get it. I'll pull it up.
Right. So what happened is, guys, we're out there in Las Vegas. We're walking through the Bitcoin conference, and they have one of those bags where you can punch it, and it tells you the number that you hit. So Johnny Krypto stepped up to the plate, hit the punching bag, and hit an 833, and that is why he was known thereafter as Mr. 833 on the Good Evening Crypto Network. Now, shout out to you. Ravis P says, thank you, Abs. Been waiting for this. Yes, guys. That is the punch heard around the world, as they say. It was a historic moment, Johnny Krypto. So he got an 833. We don't need the audio. It sounds like screeching hyenas in the background. But I do want to give a big shout out to Dennis. Keep it open for everyone, then pay us by buying. Shout out to you, Dennis, for the $2 dono. Keep it open for everyone, then pays us by buying. I'm not sure if I know what you mean there, but shout out to you. We love and appreciate you, and we appreciate your $2 donation. You just bought Johnny half a cup of coffee. Congratulations, Johnny Krypto.
And I don't even drink coffee, but thank you for that anyway. I appreciate it.
Johnny Krypto, you know what's funny? Everybody knows our standard here. Every $100 I make, $2 I give to Johnny Krypto. So Johnny Krypto, of that $2, you made 4 cents, my friend. Pat yourself on the back and enjoy the moment here. It's a new day and age. K Capone said, bruh, way to put in the work, guys. We're 24/7, my friend. We're always at it. And whether we can go live or we're just talking on Twitter or on the cell phone, Johnny, the crypto market has my full attention right now. And as you can tell, there's a great saying. I think Joe Rogan said it. He's like, there are certain people that just live and breathe their job. I feel like that's how I am with this type of stuff. It's 24/7, 365. Feel like I'm living the dream, especially with all the optimism that we have today. Massive thank you to you, K Capone. Caden Kelly says, started listening 1 month ago. You've helped a lot. Shout out to you, Caden. Massive thank you for the $2 donation. And you know what's cool, guys? There's a lot of newer listeners who are coming into our community. Couldn't be more excited about it. We just started GEC 100 days ago. I've been doing Good Morning Crypto 5 days a week, Johnny, since February 22nd, 2022. So I've really grown up in this space over these last couple of years. Kyle Roberts, huge thank you to you. Abs, what's your top 5 projects? XRP, HBAR, XLM, Chainlink, and AVAX. Those are the projects that I know and understand best. Not a financial advisor, not financial advice. That's my subjective opinion, right? You ask me what my top ones are. That's a short list I would give you. There are others that could be on there, by the way, guys. I really loved Quant back in the day. Their leadership kind of let me down. I got to be honest. They made some questionable decisions with their social media team and things of that nature. But Quant seems to be performing well. I mean, oh, someone said, Abs, you missed a donation. Did I miss a donation, guys? I apologize about that Can someone let me know the donation that I missed, just so I can be sure to address it?
Good. Here's
I
his.
think I hit them all, guys.
Abs, here it is. I got it.
Oh, Crypto Good, $2. Massive thank you to Clinton for pointing that out as well. My exit strategy, never sell and stake XRP, hodl, my friends. And that's, listen, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
We are not advocating for people selling more than they're comfortable with. If what an exit plan is to you is selling in 2030, then that's what an exit plan or a profit plan means to you. And that's a strategy that I think a lot of people, Johnny, can use to make crypto more simple than other people make it. People act like if you day trade and you're making 1,000 trades a day, you're doing yourself a favor. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Sometimes inaction is the best form of action. Buying a project, holding it for a long time, and enjoying the journey from 50 cents to $3.50 and eventually to $10. Huge thank you to RPM Immortal with the $3. Big shout out to you for the $3 super sticker. We appreciate you, my friend. We see you in the profile picture. Huge shout out to you for your donation. Thank you very much, guys. JJ 8ball says, $2 donation. Johnny, love your how-to set up exit plan on Merlin. Shout out to Johnny Crypto, guys, for that awesome work. And you're only going to get to see, there is an exclusive video. So this is pretty cool, guys. If you have no idea how to create an exit plan and you're like, I don't want to sign up for Merlin because I don't know what I'm doing. When you sign up for Merlin, Johnny Crypto created a step-by-step video walking you through how to create an exit plan and using some of the ideas and tools that he used in the past. So it's going to give you some additional insight that we're not going to give here because we're not financial advisors. If you guys would like for us to go deep on that portion of it, creating an exit plan, things of that nature, we'll do it through our own independent video. The way that we'll do that, that was funny. The way that we'll do that, guys, we will publish a video in short form that specifically says how to create an exit plan, how to create an entry plan. Are we in a 4-year cycle? Are we in alt season? These are the things that I think could be helpful, Johnny. So that's just kind of my 2 cents. We did just pass 20,000 live listeners, so I want to give
if I can, just give a shout out to JJ 8ball. He actually said he was signing up today, and he did, and he went and watched the video. So shout out to you. And yes, you get only anybody who signs up for Merlin gets exclusive access. This is not, nobody gets access to the video unless you're a Merlin customer. You can go to the Get Started and you can see that video, and that teaches you how to create an exit plan, as Abs is talking about. Now, whether you want to execute that in 2025, 2026, 2032, 2057, whenever you want, he's shaking his head. But that's the point. You can create a profit plan, and we teach you the tools, so at least you can have an idea of where is the price going. Well, there's a really cool out there today. JJ, I love you. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate that.
Guys, what's happening August 1st? I'm pretty sure the sun will rise again, my friends. But I want to give a big shout out to our donation here. Robbie said, I sold all my XRP for Litecoin. Now, obviously, that's a reference to the little beef I had with the Litecoin account. I don't know what happened, Johnny, but there's a great saying. If you come at the king, you better not miss. They had no ground to stand on. And I pointed out something about CNBC where I said, I'm like, guys, it's 2025 and CNBC is showing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin on the chart. Every single baby boomer is going to think that's the top 3. All I did was point that out on Twitter. Well, the Litecoin team got defensive, commented a couple of things. We had a little exchange, but the reality is I kept it classy. I think I represented the XRP community well. And what did I say, Johnny Crypto? They only dug their hole deeper with some of those responses. So huge shout out to Robbie for indulging in some of the humor. And that's what the late night streams are all about, guys. Have a little bit of fun, relaxing, enjoying this positive price momentum. Caden Kelly, thank you so much for another donation, $2 here. What's one piece of advice other than an exit plan? Ooh, that's a good one, Johnny. I'll kick it over to you, and then I'll follow up with my own analysis.
What's one piece of advice other than an exit plan? Well, I would say, I guess in terms of if you're investing and looking to play into this space, how are you doing research? Are you looking? How are you entering into this space? Are you? I'm curious because a lot of people, Abs, just buy something because they hear a friend tell them, "Hey, I'm gonna." Yes, we are live. They sit there and go, "We're gonna buy." I say the first thing you do is educate yourself in this space, and go and I like to tell people, go and play with some crypto. Go get a wallet. Go do an exchange. In terms of, and I'm not sure if you're asking more about in terms of how
I can give a good response, and I think Caden, we'll just have fun with it, Johnny, because there's no need to overthink the whole idea. One piece of simple advice, I would say you're not going to build $1 million portfolio in one cycle. I think if you're going to be in this game, you're going to do it for a long period of time. You have the ambition to be successful. You have to have that long-term mindset. Dollar cost average. if you don't have a plan to get out, at least have a plan to get in. And I think people creating something as simple as $20 every Friday can make a huge difference over a long enough period of time. And that's the strategy I implemented during the 2022 bear market into 23, 24, 25. That has helped me accumulate a large, what some would consider a small portion, but I consider to be a large portion of crypto compared to what I had several years ago. So that would be my one piece of advice. And as you can tell, Johnny said, check your sources, do your research. The Shadow 1776, with the 1776, I mean, I'm requesting a Coldplay song to close the show. I mean, listen, you know what? I'll respect it. This is a solid listener of the show. I'm going to respect our listeners, respect our chat like we always do. Shout out to you. We're going to close this episode out with a Coldplay song. We'll pick one of Johnny Krypto's favorites. Now, Dennis said, have you seen Sugar's chart? It's really good. And he threw a link in there. Now, the links I can't click on because I'm on a StreamYard third-party app, but I will check it out maybe some point later. I'm going to be on that, Dennis. Don't think I left you hanging on this one. I'm going to be on this and follow up with you guys. This said, do you guys stack gold and silver too? Well, let me just show you the chain on my neck, my friend. This is about, no, and I'm just teasing, Johnny. It's a very small chain. I do actually own gold. I don't have as much silver as I probably should, but Johnny, I feel like you're better to comment on this.
Yeah, so the answer is yes, absolutely. I've been stacking gold and silver for probably got about 20 years now, Abs. So I've been buying it when it was $200-300, right? So I do think it's very, very good to be able to stack precious metal. It really is only the true, if you will, as we've had Jessica on the show, real money, monetary value. Everything else, cash, fiat, right, is not really money. So to me, that is the best way to hedge and preserve your capital against inflation. A 1 ounce coin, which would have bought you a suit of armor back then, or a well-rested suit, will still buy you a $2,000 mining suit today. So it preserves. So I do, yes, we stack it. We recommend that, or at least we do it. Now, the other thing I also talk about, Abs, here is to build on this, not only silver, right, and gold, but you want to be diversified. So somebody said, what else can you do? You should diversify your portfolio. Look at some silver, look at some gold, maybe look at some real estate, or look at some dividend real estate yields. There are different things you can do to diversify your portfolio outside of just crypto, so that you're not all in one. You don't want to be in just one asset class ever, Abs. You want some gold, you want some silver, you want some crypto, you want some stocks. And of course, if you can manage and you want to deal real estate, I would highly advise getting some real estate. All those things together, boy, you're building yourself a nice, well-diversified portfolio that's going to preserve your capital. Some things are going to create passive income for you, and other things are going to have appreciation. You literally have all the bases covered there if you're building out a nice diversified portfolio with gold, silver, stocks, crypto, and real estate.
Guys, it is 12 p.m. on the East Coast. I want to give a massive thank you to every single person who joined us for today. We do have another donation from Jeff Goldbeck. Big shout out to you, my friend. We see you here almost every day, if not every single day. So very big thank you to all of our loyal listeners, guys. Jeff commented, no Arthur Brito this time. You guys rock. I have a long-term bag of several cryptos. What do you think of holding XDC in it? Well, that's what I'm doing. That's pretty much all I can say on that. I'm a big believer in XDC, and we've talked to Quincy on several different occasions. What they're doing over there with the tokenization of contracts for the banking system, some very impressive stuff is in the works. And I want to give a huge thank you to every single person who commented, hit the like button, and donated for tonight's episode. This is one thing I think people should be aware of. Johnny, few understand it, but Arthur Brito came back to flip the switch. His tweet was at the lowest. Arthur Brito knew the exact moment when everything would change. The switch flipped on 6/23, go up, and never stop. Now, do I agree with that whole premise? No. But I do think it's very interesting that Arthur Brito tweeted out the no speaking emoji at the low of $1.91 on the XRP price chart. So pretty interesting, guys. One's in chat if you think Arthur meant to call the bottom. Two's in chat if you think this is a total coincidence. I do want to give a big shout out to this person. Prototype 1985. He's a prototype, guys. That's what he's telling us right here with the $5 dono. Big shout out to you, my friend. 60 days, everything will change. We are going to be super rich. I will never sell. I'm holding my XRP, XLM, HBAR 88 for the long term, at least 5 years. I want yield. Smart man. Sounds like he's got a plan set up for success. So shout out to you, Prototype 85. And again, we talk about this all the time, Johnny. Not everybody needs to sell anything. If you only have 10,000 and you want 30, then don't sell. Hold your bag, hold it for the long term. Do what Prototype is doing here. find a way to earn a yield, earn a little bit more XRP, XLM, Stellar, whatever it is. And the reality is that it's like I always say, you're not going to get rich in one cycle anyways. If you just entered this market and you didn't get here in November, if you got here in October, November, you got super lucky. But if you entered this market anytime December onward, Johnny, you're not going to become a bazillion, trillion, gazillionaire like everybody tells you. It's going to take 2 cycles. That's about 5 years. So keep that in mind. I want people to have realistic expectations of what's coming. And I think a way to frame this, Johnny, is if you know you're not going to get rich in a single cycle, you're going to make money, but you're not going to reach those generational wealth goals, multimillionaires for most people who have an average portfolio. Right. What you can do instead is build. You can invest in what you understand. You can build a huge portfolio for yourself. So when this bull market rolls around once again in 28, 29, whatever it is, you're set up for success and you can actually talk about those massive price targets that we've been predicting. Floor is yours.
Yeah, and I think one of the things where the reason why we kind of talk about having an exit plan is we've known through history, we always see market cycles. They go up and they come down, and they go up and they come down. And if you're totally cool with watching it go up and come down and wait for the next up, that's fine. You can totally do that. The reason why we talk about having an exit plan is because we've been through enough of these where we know kind of how they're going to behave, and we want to take advantage of these cycles as we're going through. There it is, right there. Right, we want to take advantage as we go through them, and everybody gets to play this exactly how they want to, Abs, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Not wanting to sell until 5 years from now. Well, guess what? That's a plan, and good for you. I'm proud that folks have a plan. One of the things I think that's also changed, Abs, a little bit, we've seen a little evolution in the market. Now, when you and I were in this in 2020, 2021, there were not a lot of lending protocols where you could hold your crypto and earn, okay? Most of them went under, except Nexo. 3 Euros went down. I forgot the other two. Celsius went down. Everybody that was lending their crypto, do you remember? They were all failing. They were all going down. That wasn't really an option. So, a great option is, well, sell and take profits. And so the reality is, as we move into a more mature market, there will be more, I believe, lending vehicles where you'll be able to borrow against yourself and do that. And I think that's a great strategy too. Absolutely. If you can borrow against yourself and use that money and put it into earnings or something else, that's another opportunity. So we'll see that's great. It's another good way to play it.
It's another way to play, and crypto's here to stay in the USA, my friends. And we're going to wrap it up for tonight. We are an hour and 7 minutes into tonight's show. I want to give a huge thank you to everybody who donated. And like we always do, we read off the live donations to end the show, just the names. Huge thank you to Xavier. Big thank you to the Shadow, 1776. And this reminds me, guys, I have to end the episode with a Coldplay song, according to him. We stick to our donations. We love to support our community here. So it's huge thank you, guys.
Not going to get us like shadow banned if we do that.
Oh, actually, you know what, guys? I don't think I can because of copyright purposes. That's a great point, Johnny. Sorry. Listen, sorry, the Shadow. I would have done it for you, but Johnny Krypto, he had to shut it down. The dad of the Good Evening Crypto community.
But we'll play a good rock song for you when we bail out. That's all.
Yeah. Thank you to Jonathan. We actually won't because that's also copyright, so please don't play that.
No, the one that's in the one that's allowed, the one that's in the background music.
Oh, you think that's a good rock song? I think that's a
love that one. We played it all the time when we ended the show.
Are you talking about the 11-second one or no?
Yeah, the one that's that we've been playing. That we played on GMC for years when we ended it. This one.
Oh, hilarious.
Anyway, keep going.
Thank you, guys. And big thank you to Xavier. Thank you to Charles. Thank you to Robbie. Huge thank you to Robbie, guys, with multiple donations. We got Rusty here. Thank you to Rusty. Big shout out to Krypto Good. Big shout out to Robbie again. Big thank you to Dennis, K Capone, Kyle Roberts, Caden, RPM, JJ, and once again, we got a couple more down here. C Wifey, Jeff Goldbreck, Prototype, GOS, and I think this is a new one, guys.
This is a new one, Abs. We haven't read this one yet.
Thank you to Gio. He said, from your professional insights, would it be to invest in a smaller cap crypto than XRP at this point, like a blockchain with real world assets this year at least? I think that's a smart way to think. Now, again, what do you consider to be a small asset? Because if you really look, anything outside of the top 10, there is a drop off like a cliff when it comes to market cap. Cardano is the 10th largest market cap right now. It's about $30-ish billion. The 11th largest market cap, I believe, is like 14 billion. So anything outside of that top 10, I think has massive room for growth. And this includes some serious legitimate projects. This is like These are the chain links and the AVAX and the Hedera's and the Stellars. I think those projects have a ton of room. So you don't have to go too far down the top 100, in my opinion. What I would do, stick to the 10 to 40 range. You're going to find some gems in there. Ondo. There's a bunch of them. Johnny Krypto, any comment here?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. So my strategy, Abs, I try to own a few in the top 10 of the sectors that I want to play in. Then there's always a couple down, outside in the top, 30, 40, 50, even down to 100 within the top 100. That sure, I want to grab 1 or 2 or 3 of those small cap plays and put them in my bag too. But again, it takes time, research, right, to go through and understand who invented this thing, what connections do they have, or what partnerships, who's invested in them, looking at those kind of things to get it going. So to me, I think it's a smart idea. Again, diversification within the sectors is a good thing. You don't want to be just all heavily in 2 or 3 of them. I think for me, the more you have diversification, the better.
Agreed, guys. This person said, "What?" I think he's serious. I don't think that's a joke. He said, "When's your next show?" Tomorrow morning. I was going to say 11 a.m. Eastern time now. Johnny won't be there. I'm just going to speak for him. There's no way. There's no chance that he makes it tomorrow. I guarantee it. I see it in his eyes. Dennis said, Sugar's chart says $100 to $200. Not sure. That sounds like a meme coin. Dennis, do us a favor. No meme coins, please. We love and respect you, my friend, but no meme coins. I don't buy any meme coins. I never have. And it's just a thing that I never will, because the framework of it is, it's not long-term investing.
You're right. There's no utility apps. It's all, think about a meme coin. The only reason why Doge has value apps is because Elon came out one day and said, "Hey, I love Doge. I'm going to you can use it to buy Teslas." And then the next thing you know, Doge had some value. But that's what it's. Do you want to buy something that relies on somebody else to potentially bring value to it, or it has nothing? No, I don't. To me, I would be like, no. I want something that I know has real world use case solves, like an XRP, like an XLM, like a Cardano, like an HBAR, like an Ondo, like an Ethereum. These are solving these are bringing plumbing to real world problems apps. And to me, those are no brainers. You want to have a piece of those. And I don't think Sugar is a.
So I misunderstood. Big thank you to Dennis, guys. I apologize for my Let me apologize for my incorrect assumption, because I thought it was a meme coin. It's not a meme coin. I think it's a content creator who published a chart for XRP.
Correct. And he's saying XRP is going to go 100 to 200.
Well, here's what I'll say about that. Higher.
I hope he's right. That's what I'll say.
Either way, guys, there's 22,000 people here. If you enjoyed this stream, you want to check out more content from us, head on over to the Good Evening Crypto channel on YouTube. We're growing fast, and somebody asked about the hat giveaway. We are going to be giving away this hat. You have my word. When we pass 10,000, we're giving it away. We have an undetermined date, but Johnny, why don't you let them know how they can submit their name over the next week or so?
So what we're going to do is I will get, probably starting tomorrow, we'll put a new poll out. It'll be on my Twitter account, top of the page. It'll be pinned there. You're going to go there. You're going to sign up. Just click on the link, sign up, and take the survey will ask you for your information. You're just going to give your basic information, and then we will put you in the wheel. You will be on the wheel, and during one of our next lives, whenever it is, we're going to spin that. So we'll give people enough time to do it. We'll spin that some gun, and whoever wins, we will then call you from the bat phone. It's right here. We will call you from this phone, and if you answer and prove you're watching live, you are going to win one of only 2 David Schwartz signed Merlin hats. There's only 2 in the world, and the pen that signed it alone was worth $100. Could you imagine what the hat itself would be worth, Abs?
Shout out to you guys. We got 22,800 live listeners here. AGL, final comment for tonight. He said, can XRP price be higher regardless of market cap? I think he means regardless of, like, if the market cap.
XRP price be higher regardless of market. All right. So this is a great question. So the market cap is going to be based off the XRP price. So no, if the price moves up, market caps, they're tied together. Basically, the market cap's a very simple equation, AGL. It's literally the price of the coin times the number of coins available in circulation. And that's it. So if price moves up, market cap moves up. Price moves down, market cap moves down. They're linked together. Hopefully that answers your question. In terms of entry, another great question. You get one entry. You're only going to be able to enter one time when you click on the link. However, during the live show, if you're live and you make a donation, we will then add you. You can actually get a second entry. So with donations, you can get up to 2 entries. You know, the one initial plus 1 donation. So you have a better chance of winning it.
You heard it, guys, and we're going to be raffling it off. Once again, this is the hat we are giving away. Brand new Merlin hat signed by David Schwartz, and this got signed at XRP Las Vegas. Now, what I think is so exciting about that too, Johnny, is that it's Merlin and it's David Schwartz signature. It's a really unique kind of thing for our community. You're not going to see any other community talking about Merlin yet, right? So it's the Merlin hat with the David Schwartz Ripple idea that we always talk about. Really exciting. And I hope it gets in the hands of the right person like all of our giveaways do. But we love you guys. We appreciate you all. Big shout out to Seven Dennis. We appreciate you, man. AGL says, then Jake Claver price of $2,500 is impossible then. So it's not impossible. I don't think we should leave this person hanging because they did the live donation. It's not about, it's market cap is a perception. It's not a reality. It's about the demand for the underlying asset that's most important. How much money is being transferred every day on XRP? If it's $700 billion or it's multiple trillions of dollars like we've outlined here, $2,500 XRP is possible. But it's a journey to get there. We're not going to wake up and see this overnight from my interpretation. That's my understanding. It's my personal opinion. This person saying then Jake Claver's price of $250 is impossible. It is not impossible. It's just unlikely in the next 5 years, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a little confused of why he says it's impossible. I mean, market cap could be as big as the market cap can be if the money comes in, if the investments are there, if the adoption rates are there. I mean, we could be talking quadrillion market size. So, I mean, there's no reason why it's not possible. Now, remember, Jake, when he outlined that, he outlined it as a domino effect, like a certain number of things needed to happen that would drive all that value into the coin. So I don't think it's not possible. I just don't know if it's going to happen in the time frame when he says it is. That's what we're going to have to see. But AGL, we'll try. No, don't be embarrassed. In fact, we're glad you asked. And you know what, AGL? You know what's cool about you, bro? You asked the question, and I bet you there's 20 other people wanted that same question and were afraid to ask it. So shout out to you for asking the question. It's a very simple, you know, as people are learning this space, we're here to help, and we love answering these questions. So I hope that helps.
Guys, I got to get some sleep. We love you guys. We appreciate you all. Big thank you to Johnny Krypto, and we'll see you. Wait, smash that like button on the way out of here. Subscribe to the brand new Good Evening Crypto channel, and we'll see you all in the next one.